95.9 WATD, the South Shore's Morning News. I'm Rob Hackler with the morning team. Alexis, our co-host today. And Alexis, it's time now to check in with Dr. John Hayes. Dr. John Hayes joins us in studio every week at this time. For a better experience at the doctor's office, try Dr. John Hayes' new, highly personalized and affordable direct primary care practice. Find out more at drjohnhayesjr.com. That's drjohnhayesjr.com. Dr. Hayes, good morning.
Rob, good morning. Alexis, good morning.
Good morning.
All right. Well, great to have you in studio.
Great to be back.
Well, here we are. It is another week, and the topic we're going to get into, because people got a little sense of that on Monday and Tuesday, and that was the feel of spring. And spring exercise cautions.
For sure. And speaking of feeling different, this is one of those mornings. So I just want to take a moment because I've already had patients contact me today about feeling really crappy this morning.
Yeah.
And part of it, for anybody with musculoskeletal pain, is largely related to barometric pressure. So there's a condition called denervation supersensitivity. For example, if you ever had an injury, like years ago, I broke my ankle, and it healed up fine, but I felt it every time the weather changed for like 4 or 5 years. The condition is very, very real, and for some people more severe. So if you've had like recent nerve irritation, recent nerve injury, your body is very, very sensitive to barometric changes. And there was a big drop last night. So a lot of people felt it last night, and again this morning, and then with an approaching front again, with weather changes like you just talked about. Don't be surprised if you feel more. Okay. So there's a couple.
When people do say that, I can tell the weather's changing, that's a real thing?
It's a real deal. Okay. It's not an old wives' tale. And there can be a very, very wide degree of sensitivity to it.
Yeah.
So it's something to just be aware of for sure. And that kind of goes along with, the exercise cautions we're talking about today. I think the biggest things are summarized in this article. Number one is you want to make sure that you're paying attention to your flexibility. And the seasonal things that could also be affecting you too. Allergies. So allergies have already changed. So, so 2 weeks ago, we were all inside, not outside at all. The past week, we've had some warmer days. Look at what's outside on the ground. Leaf mold spikes a little bit.
So somebody could have allergy now?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And it's going to freeze again, so it'll change again.
No, that's kind of the...
Well, because I was wondering, because my wife was saying something about allergies, and I said, well, I don't know. I was wondering, is there anything even growing or to make an allergy? You're saying it can still happen.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah. So, that's one of the things, too, because that, again, there's a wide degree of variability of how it can make us feel. For a lot of people, it can give us a little fatigue, lethargy, and that type of thing. So just be aware that there are environmental things you want to pay attention to, especially in the spring, because the magnitude of weather changes is greater. Mm-hmm. So that's a real thing. And the other thing, let's see, like you spoke about, Rob, the temptation to do too much too soon is a real deal.
Well, yeah.
It just is.
You just want to all of a sudden...
You get excited. I mean, the weather is beautiful. You want to get out.
Exactly.
Cabin fever kind of thing,
Cabin
Exactly.
fever, spring fever. As soon as you can, you want to, and I understand that. And you see people trying to, all of a sudden, I'm just going to go again from 0 to 100.
Right.
We talked about it. It's the same thing people always talk about, when you're going to start... either moving furniture or doing exercise, you're supposed to warm up. And most of us just start going in. Like the same with shoveling. I'm guilty of that. You just go,
sure.
Oh, yeah, let's just pick it up. Yeah. Don't even stretch or do anything.
Exactly.
So that's when you can get into...
Right, exactly. So that's a really good point. Stretching, the number one thing adults don't do is they don't stretch and they don't hydrate. No. They don't hydrate well. And
that's true.
That backfires. It backfires tremendously.
We've talked a lot about that, Alexis, and about not drinking enough water.
I need to up my water intake. I will admit that.
No, it makes a huge difference. And, they've already, speaking of water intake, they've already proven that even if you're just a 1 to 2% dehydrated, it affects your mental status, which makes sense because your body does everything it possibly can to, promote circulation. Yeah. And it does affect us dramatically, so pay attention.
Yeah, I think people are at least better about. I notice more and more people do tend to bring along their water bottles with them. You see more. I mean, you must notice everybody. It almost. I mean, this is a good thing in addition, to carrying a cell phone, which may or may not be a good thing. Most people have a cell phone.
The water bottle's better.
No, I knew you were going to say that. Yeah, than carrying a cell phone.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, as far as it's becoming kind of a companion
item,
right?
As it should be.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah, because hydrating through the day can make a big difference. And obviously, as temperature rises, we perspire more and all that stuff.
All right, so again, also as you go out, you talked about, and this is another big thing with things, and everybody knows it, nice during the day, then freezing at night, going out for walks, right? Be careful.
Yeah,
we're in that muddy, icy season.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, so you don't want to be slipping and falling.
No, be cautious. Yeah, it does make a difference. So awareness, again, like so many things in life, makes a big difference.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then I suppose once we get into the time when they can live, ticks. They're out there probably, right?
Yeah, well, that's the other thing, too. You read my mind. I had that very thought. And for people that think ticks aren't around, they are. I've seen tick bites in the winter. Yeah. So, yeah. Be careful.
They are resilient little, little bugs.
They certainly are.
Yeah.
Yep.
And dangerous, unfortunately, for spreading, as we know, some really immune-compromising type
tick-borne
diseases.
Illnesses. Exactly.
Well, I feel like, too, to add to that really quick, when you're out walking your dog, be mindful of that as well. Because if ticks are on the dogs, you can bring them to the house, and you can bring them to the furniture and the whole.
Exactly. That's
so
a really good point.
Be mindful of that,
for
too.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly. So pay attention, right?
Yes. Yeah. And anybody has any questions, shoot us a text. More than happy to talk to you, speak to you, however we can help.
All right, Dr. John Hayes' office is in Marshfield, and you can find him on School Street, and his number to text or chat is 781-659-7989, 781-659-7989, drjohnhayesjr.com, and get in touch with him. He'll talk to you more, and you can set up a chance to go and maybe visit the office.
Yeah, sure. Please do.
All right, Dr. John Hayes is with us every Thursday at this time, and you can get the blog, Spring Exercise Cautions, and that's at drjohnhayesjr.com, drjohnhayesjr.com if you want to read more about that. And Dr. Hayes, we will talk next Thursday.
Sounds good, Rob.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Rob. Thanks, Alexis. Take care.
Nice to meet you. Yeah, thanks.